Hey YouTube, Vermont Prepper here, continuing my projects on my military trailer, the M105A2, and I want to get some things done before it starts getting cold out here. And it gets pretty cold, you know, maybe sometime September, so I got about a month, right? Sometimes you get some warm days in October, but I want to get things done before September, so the next thing I want to do is put on some propane tanks. So as you notice right here, the tongue of the trailer, there's really not a great place to put one of those propane holders. You can't just lay it across because you got all those cables on the tongue of the trailer. And I don't feel like modifying and moving all of those because, you know, I want to keep the integrity of the trailer as much as possible. Additionally, the front landing gear here, that swings upward into the middle right here, and that actually sticks up above the tongue of the trailer when it's mounted onto the truck, when the trailer's mounted on the truck. So there's really no clear place on the tongue where people normally put those propane holders. So I had to think of something different. So I looked on Amazon and I found these braces. They're stainless steel braces, and I'd say they're either 1/8 or 3/16 inch thick. They're rated to like 450 or 500 pounds each, I guess, but who knows if that's true or not. But they are sturdy and they're stainless, and I like using stainless in Vermont because of the weather here. It's very harsh, and stainless, of course, doesn't rust. So in keeping with that thought, I'm going to do 3 of these brackets, one here on that brace, one on that brace, and one on that brace. Then I'm going to put 2 pieces of plywood across, not plywood, the 2x4 treated across the top, and then that should be able to hold my my mount for the 40 pound tanks that I'm getting. And, you know, I'll probably do some tie downs as well, just to make sure, because, you know, if I do go off-road with this thing, I don't want it shaking around. So I'll probably tie down the propane's tanks with some cargo straps as well, even though they have a pretty secure mount on the holder. It looks a little flimsy. I'm kind of mixed on it. So I got to modify it, just like I do just about everything on this trailer is a modification. So that's a thought. I've mounted one already, and you know, keeping with the stainless, I use the stainless screws right there. They're 2.5 inch. So this can be done on any military trailer like this. You don't need this top. I'm not drilling into the top, so this is a standard size military trailer, and they'll have the braces in the same spot. It should be pretty cool when it's done. I think it'll be really sturdy. It doesn't seem to be at all swaying when you try and sway this thing back and forth. It's very, very sturdy, so I'm not at all concerned about it. And after all, I'm only putting, what, 80 pounds on top of 3 of those things, so not at all concerned. It'll be overkill if anything, so I'll continue the project and be on the next segment. So here's the 3 braces that are fastened with the stainless hardware. The next step, I'm going to fasten the wood, and that's pressure treated wood, and I'm going to undercoat it before I put it on as well, on top. And I'm probably going to have to put 3 pieces because I measured with the propane tank, and the propane tank sits on it, but I'd rather have more distribution with 3 pieces than 2, so it'll be much safer and a lot sturdier as well if I wanted to put something else up there, for example. So that's the next step. So next segment will be with all 3 pieces of wood fastened and undercoated, and then I need to just wait for the propane mount the little tray with the screw that goes up through the middle that kind of holds the 2 propane tanks in place. That should be coming, I think, in a couple days. So just a quick tip on drilling through stainless steel is extremely difficult, and the best way to do it really is to step it up with your drill bits. So this is a 1/4 inch hole that I want, right? So I got to do it in all 3, and I tried sidestepping and kind of skipping over drill bit sizes to get to 1/4 inch quicker, but it ended up not going so well for me. So basically what I had to do is sharpen the drills with my drill doctor, and I do have a video on how to use this thing. It's pretty cool and it really works. And then I have drill hog cobalt bits, and they're in 64ths, and you really need to step it up you know, a 64th at a time. So I had to go all the way from, I'd say 9/64ths all the way up to a 1/4, and it made it a lot easier and saved me a bunch of time of having to continually sharpen drill bits, only to be disappointed that they didn't go through the stainless. Here's the finished product shelf. Show you underneath all the stainless hardware, and on top this is what it looks like. So this is sort of overkill for those propane tanks, but I'll feel much safer with this up there. And he probably put something else up there eventually if I needed to change anything out. I mean, this will hold tons of weight, so pleased with that. Now I got to mount the propane tanks themselves. So here's the 40-pound mount right here for the propane, the tray. And what I'm going to do is just drill some 1/4 inch holes in there and put some stainless bolts through, and it should be all set. I should be all ready. There's the bracket there that'll hold it in place, and then I don't know, we'll see how it feels and whether or not I strap down the propane tanks or not remain to be seen. I'll just kind of play that by ear. I probably will, just for the heck of it. I'm going to lock them anyway, but we'll see if I need to actually strap them. I got both propane tanks filled at Tractor Supply, so we have roughly, let's say, 85-90 pounds on that shelf, and I ended up fastening the shelf there, cargo strapped it to the tie down points on the roof, because I don't want any kind of vibration as you go over bumps, because the trailer and truck they're a bumpy ride to begin with, and if you're going to take it on the highway or you hit a pothole or something like that, I don't want things vibrating back and forth. Not that they will, but that cargo straps actually give me a sense of comfort. So I'll end up taking them off and use them only when I'm ready to go on a longer trip. I wouldn't need to use it, you know, just going around town here, or, you know, just going to get them filled. But if you're going on a long trip, I'm going to use the cargo straps, so I'll take them off after this video. Last thing I wanted to mention is I have some sensors that wirelessly transmit the tank capacity so that I know how full each tank is. Pretty cool system. It's basically a magnetic sensor that goes underneath the tank, and the tank gets propped up by 4 aluminum fasteners, and probably about 3/8 of an inch to give it some room for the sensors, and the sensors just go on there magnetically, and then it'll wirelessly transmit the capacity to a little monitor, and it's pretty cool. It's like LED lights that show, you know, how much is left in the tank. So at least I have, and I could put that inside the trailer, so at least I have sort of a sense of the tank capacity as the propane gets used. Last thing is this cover right here, just to keep it added protection from the weather here. That's the thing in Vermont, when you're doing projects, you really got to think about the weather. And I keep saying, you know, I use stainless, but that's a fact. You have to use it. Otherwise, you're going to regret it probably a year or two down the road. You just use it whenever you can. Alright, so that's about it for the video. The next thing that I'm going to do is hook up the propane tanks, and it's going to be pretty versatile. I'll be able to use one or both tanks at the same time, and I have different uses for when I use them one at a time, which I'll explain in that video. But it's going to be a long video because I'm going to go through the connections, which took me a lot of research, but it'll save you guys a lot of research if you want to do the same setup. Alright, so as always, like, subscribe, comment. Near that 1,000 subscriber, so that'd be great. And as always, keep prepping, and from our prepper out. Take care, everyone.